Yeah,
Do
raise your right hand. Go ahead.
do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
I do.
Okay.
Okay, first on the docket is number 75, the state of Lynella Stedham. Mr. Benoit, good morning. Good afternoon.
What's Mr. Williams this time? You got the A team.
Well, you may proceed, 18.
My name's Daniel Williams, and I'm here to offer the will of Lynella Stedham for probate as a muniment of title. Miss Stedham passed away March the 2nd of 2024 at the age of 83 years. 4 years have not elapsed since the date of her death. She left a will that was self-proved in nature, dated December the 12th of 2009, which we have caused to be filed with the court. She did not receive any Medicaid or Medicare benefits after March the 1st of 2005. Time of her death, she had a domicile and fixed place of residence in Old River, Winfrey, Texas. And no children were born to or adopted by her since the date of the will. She was not married. She had no marriage dissolved after the time her will was made. We have investigated her affairs. We think that it would be just and proper that her will be admitted as a probate as a muniment of title.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may be. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too, sir.
Cause number 79, the state of Hollis, Clifton, Riley.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Gunn, good afternoon. You may proceed.
All right. Ms. Riley, you need to unmute.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
All right. You are Patricia Eileen Riley, is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Ms. Riley, you are the surviving spouse of Hollis Clifton Riley?
Yes, sir.
Senior, excuse me, senior.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Mr. Riley died on or about July the 17th of 2024 at the age of 78 years. 4 years have not elapsed since the date of his death.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And he was domiciled, had a fixed place of residence in Chambers County, Texas on the date of his death.
Yes, sir.
The document which has been filed with the court dated July 29, 2004, purporting to be his last will and testament. That document was never revoked so far as you know. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Or was it ever amended?
No, sir. It was not.
And you're alleging to the court a necessity exists for the administration of his estate?
Yes, sir.
There were no children born to or adopted by Mr. Riley after July 29th, 2004?
That's correct.
And Mr. Riley had no marriage that was dissolved after the date after July 29th, 2004?
That's correct.
You are named as the independent executor in the will, and you are not disqualified from such and are qualified to receive letters testamentary. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
The will did not name the state of Texas, an agency of the state of Texas, or an eleemosynary or charitable institution as a devizee, meaning to receive under the will. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. It is not a taxable estate. You're asking the court to waive appraisal.
Yes.
You're asking that the court appoint you as the independent executor of the estate of Hollis Clifton Riley Sr.
Yes, sir.
All right. We have nothing further, Your Honor.
Hereby admit the will to probate and authorize letters. Thank you, Counselor.
And may we be excused, Your Honor.
Maybe. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Cause number 80, the state of Joanne Simpkins. Mr. Davidson,
Yes, sir.
may proceed.
Thank you very much. Your Honor, Joanne Simpkins passed away on May 15th, 2024 in Gonzales County, Texas at the age of 91 years, and 4 years have not passed since the date of her death. You've got jurisdiction and venue in that she had a fixed place of residence here in Chambers County at the time of her death. And to the best of my knowledge, the document dated June 13th, 2022, which has been filed with the court as her last will and testament, has never been revoked. Your Honor, I would request that the court take judicial notice that you've got the original in your file.
Well done.
No state, governmental agency, or charitable organization is named in the will as a devizee. after the date of the will, there were no children born to or adopted by the decedent, nor was there a dissolution of marriage. The will names her son, Benny R. Simpkins, to serve as independent executor without bond. He is qualified and not disqualified to serve in that capacity. And this is not a taxable estate. We would request that the appraisers would recommend that this will be admitted to probate and that Benny R. Simpkins be
Hello.
appointed as
Okay, all right.
independent executor of the estate.
All right, hereby admit the will of probate and authorize letters. Thank you.
Thank
She
you.
did it herself. So, okay, good. Thank you, Counselor.
Have a good one.
Cause number 83, the state of Carolyn Emmanuel. Mr. Dawson, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. I have the daughter here, Michelle L. Morris. If we could proceed, Judge?
Yeah, did we swear her in a while ago?
No, she's not been sworn in.
Please raise your right hand, ma'am.
We need to see your right hand.
There you go. What's her name? Casey, you're muted. It happens. Don't feel bad.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. You may proceed, Counselor.
Would you state your name, please, ma'am?
Michelle L. Emanuel, or
Okay.
Morris, sorry.
Okay. And you're also known as Michelle E. Morris. Is that right?
Yes,
And you're the daughter of the decedent. Is that correct?
yes,
And she died on July 26, 2024. Correct?
yes,
Now, while she passed in Harris County, she had a residence. Her residence was in Chambers County. Is that right?
that's correct.
And the document, which purports to be her will, is dated March 30th, 2004. Is that right?
Yes.
As far as you know, that is her last will and testament, correct?
Uh-huh.
And you handed that original will to me, and we filed it with the Chambers County Clerk, right?
Yes,
And Judge, I'd ask you to take judicial notice of the will and file with the clerk's office.
Yes.
And a necessity, Ms. Morris, a necessity exists for the administration of the estate. Is that right?
that's correct.
And there was no children born or adopted after the date of the will, correct?
Correct.
And she was a single person at the time of death. Her husband, Robert Emanuel, passed away just November of last year. Is that right?
That's correct.
And there is no gift to any charitable organizations or any governmental entity. Is that,
That's
Okay.
correct.
and it's a non-taxable estate?
Yes,
And you're asking to be appointed independent executor, and you've never been convicted of any felony, had any problem with the law. Is that right?
that's correct.
Okay, Judge, I'd ask that the will dated March 30th, 2004 be admitted to probate, and Michelle L. Morris, also known as Michelle E. Morris, be appointed independent executor to serve without bond. And that's all I have, Judge.
Well done. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you, Judge. Nice to see you. Take
Okay.
care.
Okay. All right, cause number 84, the state of Lamerrill Rain. Ms. Clapper.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. How are you?
We're good, thank you. Is your name Janice Rain Kelly?
Correct.
And was your mom Lamerrill M. Rain,
Yes,
a resident of Chambers County, Texas, actually out in Hancomer,
yes,
for over 60+ years
Yes.
before her death on August 15th of 2024?
correct.
And this judge has jurisdiction because she did live in Chambers County and she had and owned a fixed place of residence here.
Correct.
And how many times was she married?
Once,
And how many children did she have?
6,
Was the marriage to K.W. Rain her sole and only marriage?
correct,
And did he die on May 10th of 1990?
correct,
And there are 6 children?
correct,
And if I won't make you, but in your application, you have listed all of the children.
correct,
And you and Joe Rain Sr. have been named as co-executors of your mom's estate.
correct,
And you're both here today
correct,
to tell the court that you're willing to do that.
correct,
All right. So Joe Rain is one of the children. You're the second. And the next was Aubrey Ray Rain.
Correct.
Yvonne de Graffing Reed,
Correct.
Edwin K. Rame, who predeceased his mom,
Yes.
and John Rame, who also predeceased your mom.
Correct.
But Edwin left no children,
Correct.
but John left Sherry Liscombe and Ravonda Rame.
Correct.
And all of those that we have listed have signed waivers, which has been filed with the court today.
Correct.
And in those waivers, everyone has agreed that they would abide by your mom's will, which asks that you and Joe be co-executors together to administer her estate.
Correct.
Now, you've never been in any way charged with a felony crime or had any other problem that would make you disqualified to serve,
No.
and you're willing to serve.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to show you the will at this time. And are you familiar with your mom's signature? Going back to the last page, are you familiar with the signature?
Yes.
And her name was?
Lamerle M. Rain,
And it was signed on what date?
May 17th, 2006.
All right, and there are two witnesses there. Misty Lynn, let me get. Misty Lynn Ivy and a Tiffany M. Christensen.
Correct.
But it was also notarized by an Everett B. Williams.
Correct.
And that's Butch Williams,
Correct.
as we all grew up and knew.
Right.
So this will has been made self-proved, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've read it?
Yes, ma'am.
And you know that in the will, it does not name any governmental agency of the state, no charitable organization as a devotee.
Correct.
And your estate is not, your mom's estate is not in any way harmed by Medicaid or a claim like that.
No.
All right. Now, did your mother at any time after she signed the will in 2006 tell you, I don't like that will, I want to revoke it, I want a new will?
No.
All right. And after your father died, did your mother at any time have another child
No.
or take another child into her house to raise as if that child were her own?
No.
All right. And the estate is not taxable, is it?
No.
And you're asking the court to approve the will and admit it to probate and
Correct.
grant letters testamentary so that you can handle the affairs of the estate.
Correct.
All right. Would you state your name for the record, please?
Joe Archie Ryan Jr. Senior.
Okay. And Mr. Rain, you're also familiar with the will.
Yes,
You lived around your mom and you know that she didn't revoke this will at any time before her death. Is
correct.
that correct? And if and you have nothing that disqualifies you from taking the oath of office and being granted letters testamentary and working with Janice.
No, I don't have nothing against it, but
All right, and y'all are willing to work together.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, there's one thing, Judge, we want on the record. The will misspells Janice's name. The will spells the name as Janeese, but Janice, your name is spelled correctly how?
Jeneese.
All right, so for the record, everything that we have filed correctly spells Janice's name, Jeneese, and we're asking that that continue because it was just a misnomer by whoever did the typing. You're asking the court then, Joe and Janice, to admit the will to probate, to grant letters testamentary, and to waive any appraisal because there's no need, and to serve without bond, which is what the will does require.
Correct.
Correct.
Thank you, Judge.
Right, everybody admits the will to probate and authorize letters of testamentary. Good to see all of you.
Good to see you.
You too.
All right, cause number 86, the estate of Von Eldon Young. Mr. Fuller.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, my name is Roy Fuller. I'm representing the applicant Carl Young Jr. in the estate of Von Eldon Young. The decedent died on August the 3rd, 2024 in Chambers County, Texas. He was 68 years of age. 4 years have not elapsed since the date of his death. At the time, he was a resident in Chambers County at the time of his death. The original will is dated August the 1st, 2024, has been filed with the court. To my knowledge, that will has never been revoked. There is a need for administration of this estate. There were no children born or adopted after the execution of the will. The decedent did not have a marriage that was dissolved. The will names the brother Carl Young Jr. to serve as independent executor. To my knowledge, there's no reason why he'd be disqualified. He's not committed a felony. He's never been determined to be incapacitated. The will does not name the state, governmental agency of the state, or a charitable organization as a devisee. It's a non-taxable estate. We ask the court to waive the appraisers and appoint Carl Young Jr. as independent executor to serve without bond.
Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you, Judge.
Good day.
Good day.
All right, last but not least, number 88, State of Robert Lloyd Perry. Ms. Clapper, whenever you're ready.
My computer's got so dark I can't even see it.
Oh, it's just a setting, yeah.
He said, it says go on Zoom and then go to the camera.
Okay,
So
so
go-
you need
go
to
back.
turn the code up.
Judge, are you ready?
Yeah, let Mr. Fuller mute himself.
I'm trying.
We're worried about your computer.
Okay. He's got
All
it.
right, we need to swear these folks in.
We do.
Raise your right hand, please, Casey.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
Yes.
Put your hand down, and Counselor, you may proceed.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
Laurel Francis Perry.
And Miss Perry, you're the wife of Robert Lloyd Perry.
Yes.
And what was the date of his death?
June 4th, 2024.
And he lived here in Chambers County, Texas for about 45 years before his death
Yes.
this year, didn't he? And you are the one and only wife of Robert Francis Perry.
Yes.
And y'all have 2 children,
Yes.
Robert Sean Perry and Leslie Shannon Perry.
Yes.
All right, did you have any other children that you and Robert took into, he's Bob to me, but
Okay.
that y'all took into your home to raise as a child of your
No.
own?
No others.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you the will and ask if you are familiar with your husband's signature.
Definitely. Yes.
Were you present when this will was signed?
Yes, I was
Where were y'all? So the judge will know all that.
at my home.
At your home?
Mhm.
Y'all were working on the flags?
On folding the flag letters to go out.
To go out. So he was always working for the community, weren't you guys?
Yes.
Okay. So what date did Bob Perry sign this will?
February the 4th of 2020.
And he signed it in the presence of Elizabeth Gibson, who is present today,
Yes.
and Linda Tinnerman, who is present today.
Yes.
But there was no notary at your meeting, was there?
No.
So that's the reason that the witnesses are here. Did Bob ever, after he signed this will on February 4th of 2020, say, I don't like that will, I want to revoke it, I'm done with it, it's null and void? Did he ever revoke it?
No.
All right. And you'd know that because you all were very close.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the will does say that you would be the independent executrix of his estate, that you would serve without bond, and you're willing to do that.
Yes.
And you have no felony conviction or charge of theft or anything that would disqualify you from taking the letters of administration.
No.
And this will does not state that the state or governmental agency gets anything from his estate, or that a charitable organization or other type of entity is named, actually a church. There's none of those named as a devisee. The person who receives everything according to this will is yourself.
Yes.
All right, and you're willing to do that responsibility. So, Judge, we're gonna prove up the actual, you have signed a waiver of service. Your two children have signed a waiver of service. They agree to you being the executrix of their dad's estate, and everything is perfectly fine, correct?
Correct.
No problems. All right. Judge, I now call Linda Tinnerman.
May I
Linda,
proceed?
would you state your name on the record, please?
Linda Faring Tinnerman.
Okay, and you were present and witnessed Bob signing this will.
I did.
You knew at the time that he was over the age of 17,
Yes.
of sound mind,
Yes.
knew what he was doing.
Yes.
All right, you have signed an affidavit, which is on file with the court.
Yes.
And in that affidavit, you say that you and Elizabeth were both present with Bob when he signed.
Yes.
You saw him sign, and then you as a witness signed after he signed.
Yes.
And that he was able to read and write.
Yes.
He was conversant with the English language, had no defect or problem with hearing or speech or any physical or mental impairment that would affect his ability to execute a will.
That is correct.
Okay. And showing you the will, which is before the court now, but is that your signature on the will?
It is.
And Elizabeth signed before you, so you recognize that signature as well.
Yes.
All right. So would you state your name for the record, please?
Elizabeth Gibson.
Elizabeth, you were present at a meeting
Yes.
at the Perry's house.
Yes, ma'am.
And Bob came up and said, I need a will. And you were present at the time of the signing.
Yes, ma'am.
If I ask you everything I just asked Ms. Tinnerman, would it be the same?
I would still agree.
You knew he was sound mind up to the final breath, wasn't he?
He was.
Wonderful guy. So you're telling the judge that it was signed. You just didn't have a notary.
Right.
And you were so nice to come today
Yes.
to
I'm glad
to
you
get his will probated.
anything for
Bob
Bob
and
and friend.
Judge, we're asking that you would admit the will to probate, that you would approve service without bond, that you would waive an appraisal because it is not a taxable estate, and to issue letters testamentary. And thank you for letting this will come forward.
So done. You're gonna miss Bob. Sorry about your loss, and he was a loss for all of us. So
Yes, he was. Thank you,
you ladies
Judge.
take care. Thank you.
Thank
Court's
you.
adjourned.
That was good. Yeah.